What's going on guys, CasualSavage here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use the event pattern crop in Sony Vegas. Now just before I get into this video, I'd like to say this was a requested tutorial as you'll see on the screen right now. With that being said, if you'd like to request a tutorial, then be sure to leave it in the comments below or ask me on Twitter. Now I believe the event pattern crop is not available for Sony Vegas Pro 11, but it's available for Sony Vegas Pro 12 and upwards, so let's get into it. So the event pattern crop is this button right here, so if we select this is what you're going to get. Now I'll just move this timeline a bit so you can actually see the video. And now I'm going to try and cover everything you see on the event pattern crop. Now this is actually very simple to use. The main reason why it's used is to zoom into specific areas. So we'll just run through very quickly the tools you're seeing on the side right here. So this is showing properties, and the properties is everything you're seeing right here, like the position, the rotation. So if we uncheck this, as you can see they go off, and to be honest they're not really needed unless you're doing really accurate work, so we can take them off. Here is the normal edit tool, which means you can move stuff around like that. This is the magnifying tool, so as you can see you can zoom in or zoom out just by left clicking and right clicking. The next thing is a snapping. Now as you'll see the little dot you're seeing, if we come back to the normal edit tool and if I press up on my keyboard, as you can see it is snapping onto these dots. So that's what snapping does. Again, makes you stay more accurate. The next thing is lock aspect ratio. Now I'm just going to uncheck size about center, and what this does, as you can see I'm going to drag from a corner, it keeps it in proportion the entire time from one corner. And it also works on the bottom, so as you can see it keeps it all in proportion. Now the next thing is size about center. So if I select this one, as you can see you have full control of it. And let's say you do mess up, a very quick way of putting it back to normal instead of going like this and then like that, what you can do is just simply right click and select restore, and this will bring everything back to normal. Now during my editing I like to have size about center and lock aspect ratio checked. What this means, if I zoom in, everything stays in proportion and it's in a specific area. As you can see we still have snapping enabled, so if I uncheck it I can now move around freely. Again, right click, restore, brings everything back to normal. The last thing is they move freely. So what this means, as you can see now we're only moving in the X, so that means we can only go left and right. So if I try drag this up, it won't let me. We can only go left and right. Again, very useful tool to stay accurate. And of course if we press it again, now we can only move in the Y direction. So if I try moving left and right, it doesn't let me. We can only move up and down. Right click restore, and we press it again, means we can move freely, which of course is probably the best one to use. So that's the basics of that. And if we come down here, this one says sync cursor, a very useful feature. And what this means, if I click somewhere on my timeline, it'll also move on the event pattern crop timeline as well. So for example on my timeline, I'm going to click to around a minute. As you can see it's also moved on the timeline as well. If I come to the start of my timeline, uncheck sync cursor, and now I go back to that same position, as you can see it stays there. It's a very useful feature if you want to do stuff like zooming in slowly or zoom out. These next buttons here, personally I don't use any of them. The one I probably could use though is the create keyframe and delete keyframe. However, we don't need to do that because if we use sync cursor everything is so much more simpler. So for example now I'm going to come to the start and I'm going to go to about 6 seconds, as you can see right there. And since we're at 6 seconds, I want to zoom in, let's say on my social media here on the left. So how do we do that? Well, as you can see sync cursor is checked, we're already on 6 seconds. We can select this button here, but we don't need to. Automatically it will create one as soon as we start moving the event pattern crop like so. And I want to zoom it right in to the social media. And again, you can use the arrow keys for this as well, just to be more accurate. And now what this is going to do is going to take 6 seconds to zoom all the way in like that. So if I X out for this and we play this through, as you can see it slowly zooms in, boom, 6 seconds is there. Now what you can do to make it go back to normal, press S on your keyboard, and now we have 2 separate clips. And that means we also have the event pattern crop on this. However, the effects will be carried over from the first clip. So that means we need to come back to the event pattern crop, right click and restore. And now as you'll see, it's going to be zoomed in here, but as soon as we go to the next clip, it goes back to normal. Now another thing you can do, let's say you want to do this in every video, but you don't want to have to keep messing with this all the time. You just want to be able to have something set up, and that is possible. So as you can see at the top, it says preset. So I can call this social media, and if I select the save preset button, what this means, I can click anywhere on my timeline now, and I can come down and I can select social media. As you can see, I have a ton already set up, but social media is one we just created, so if I select that, it means it's going to take me back into that same position. So I'll delete this keyframe we first made. As you can see, it's back to normal. I'm going to come to the presets, I'm going to add on the social media preset we just created. As you can see, it takes us right there, and we're going to have the exact same effect like that. So it saves a lot of time using presets. Make sure to take advantage of them. The last thing I'm going to be showing you is the rotation. Now you may have noticed you can't see any rotation just yet, but if you move out of this rectangle you're seeing, as you can see, we get the rotation sign. Now if we drag left, you can simply rotate just like that. Again, if you mess up, right click, restore, everything goes back to normal. So again, you can come across on your timeline, maybe tilt it there, come across on your timeline again, maybe tilt it there, come across on your timeline again, maybe just restore it as normal. This is what we've just done. As you can see, it's like teeter-totter, it's in there, hit side to side, and then just go back to normal. Event pan and crop is amazing, you can do great effects with it, it all depends on your creativity as well. Now I also realised there is something called mask here. The reason why I'm not getting into that is because I've already made a separate video on that quite a while back, where I just go through how to mask. Also, masking is not available in all Sony Vegas versions. I believe it's only available from Sony Vegas Pro 12 and onwards. Now we're just going to head back to the properties very quickly, and let's go to the position. As you can see, this tells us our width and our height, also the X center and the Y center. Rotation, pretty simple stuff again. You can customize your angles, maybe put a 450 like that. Again, Control Z. And the other stuff you probably won't be using, and personally I don't use any of them either. Now one more thing I quickly forgot to mention, as you'll see at the bottom here, this is going to be our timeline time. So if you have sync cursor unchecked for whatever reason, as you can see, we can come across and it'll tell us accurately we are on 1 minute 30 of the video, any position. And if we do have sync cursor, as you can see, and come across about there, it comes up there and there as well. The last cool features you can do, if you right click it, you can see you can flip horizontal, or right click again, you can flip vertical, right click again, you can match the output aspect, right click again, center it, right click again, and restore it. Anyway, that's it for this video. I tried to cover everything you can do in the event pan and crop, and like I've mentioned before, I have had tutorials on the event pan and crop in the past. For example, having a split screen side by side, you use the event pan and crop for that, and I've made a video on that before. You can head over to the description where I have listed all of my tutorials. It's in a playlist. It'll be very useful to beginners and other people as well, because there's some cool effects you can learn. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, if you guys want to request a tutorial, then be sure to leave it in the comments below or ask me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, please subscribe, rate, and peace.